going live again.
I'm like fully clothed too.
I know.
Surprisingly.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to put a link to the new stream as soon as it goes up. We're going live again. That is hilarious and a little weird.
It's
I think we're live
totally
again.
weird.
Let's see. So let me get
It's live on YouTube.
Yeah, we're live now. So anybody who finds this, you're going to hang out for a second. I'm going to copy this URL into the other one, just in case anybody's still there. No, it won't let me do it because it pulled the video.
Oh my God.
Well, that is friggin' hilarious.
That is awesome.
I can't do anything because it's pulled. We have to just go for a new stream. All right, so we're streaming again. Okay,
Here
so we're streaming again. We'll see. Oh, but people have jumped over.
Yay! Hi, people again.
So we got
my
pulled
dominatrix photo
for violating copyright, which apparently is. I mean, I guess I appreciate the YouTube's protecting my photos.
Like I appreciate and also don't.
Yeah, I think what's happening right now with YouTube, guys, is that they actually sent something out to creators about, I don't know, a few weeks ago. They're really being extra paranoid with what they're pulling because there's a lot of people throwing channels up and putting up a lot of false information because of the virus and stuff that's going on. So for whatever reason, I think that's why I did it. So hopefully we won't get pulled again.
We promise to keep it PG in the next.
So we gotta keep those curves to yourself. All right.
That's great.
No. So what happened was, so for anybody, terms of service, I guess. Okay, good. So this happened to me once before too, and it wasn't anything. As soon as I put in a appeal, it came live. So I'm sure it's not anything really. Okay, so let's do this. Let me pull it back so I can see you. Now I forgot what I was saying. We lost our train of thought. Thanks, YouTube.
Yeah, where were we?
It's because you were drinking.
Oh yeah, Amaro.
No, that can't be right. People drink all the time.
But I mean, I'll show my ID over here, even though I look young and youthful.
Yeah, it's just so young.
I look so young. I look under 18. Well, I moisturize, Daniel, because your close-ups on some of those photos is real. It's like here that you don't even see my head. I'm like, there's a lot of eye cream that could save me from this.
You just get in close. That's the key. That's so funny. Yeah, no, good skin. Moisturizing is super important for anybody who's a model, or if you're giving advice to models. It is actually the truth. Having good skin is super important.
It is really important. Agreed. I actually started really moisturizing after we started shooting a lot because there's only so much Photoshop you could do until it starts looking not very real. So you gotta look as natural and as prepared as possible.
Yeah, exactly. So that's important. So if you're working with young models, especially, let them know that. I mean, I know that people think that they're invulnerable when they're young, but it doesn't make a difference. I wish I moisturized more when I was younger. I'll tell you that right now.
And with the Miami sun. You look great. You look youthful. Are you kidding me?
I mean, for 105 years old, I look pretty good.
You know what? You look better than the Muppet. And the Muppet skin is where it's at.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Actually, in order to make it PG, if you share the screen again, we could show the photo of me with the Muppet.
Yeah.
Just to bring it back to PG Sesame Street kind of thing.
I just want to say I had an excuse to have a half naked picture on my screen, so I was taking advantage.
And we were just talking, all
blasé. All right, so where is that? Okay, so let's go back. I'm going to share my screen again. I don't think that was really the reason. I think it's just they just saw pictures being up there, and I think they figured it was copyright. So we just can't leave a single picture sitting for too long. Let me go down and come back to Zoom. Well, that's actually a good picture of us right there too. I don't know. It's summer 2019, so we look good still. I don't know. Oh, you can't see it because I haven't shared yet. Hold on.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what you're looking at. Oh yeah. I mean, I will say that one is with a pixel camera, and the pixel camera kind of makes you look real nice. But we look great.
Is that it? That's the pixel camera. So that's what I need. I need the pixel camera always. All right. So hold on.
Let's go down. It's great.
Those were fun. We're going to talk about all these eventually. This was a great photo shoot.
One of my favorites to date. Has been
And
a
we were going
winter
to try to
too.
redo it. And this year we had like no snow. Not that I'm complaining, because really I don't like
Not
shoveling.
just no snow, but also quarantine. So
Well, also this was the time that I was like, Sharinna, they're having a party for top photographer, and I have to have the most beautiful date.
I was honored you picked me with all like the amazing
And
models
she was like,
you know.
I was like, I have to show up with the most beautiful girl in New York, so I invited Sharinna. So there you go. So that's
I
going
was
to be the
like,
best one.
hold my baby. I'm wearing a leather dress. Let's do this.
Yeah, you killed it. You definitely did that. That's the honor of the photographers. You get to bring these absolutely stunning people to stuff, and then just show off and be like, look, I'm hanging out with her. I mean, she's going
Like it's
home
not even
somewhere.
a favor. We're all friends. So you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
hey, come to my
That was such a
party.
great. No, it was just funny because I was like,
So
oh,
I'll
man.
tell you one thing about the light blue shirt look. This is our moment of emotional stuff, but on the other shoot that you just passed with the curly hair and the light blue, like off the shoulder, that was like right after my dad had passed away. And I think that was like the first time I even brought my mom to this, but it was like the first time I like smiled in like months. And I don't know why they're like so special that I have these photos, because we saw each other like right after that. And that's why I put them here, because I think it's just really nice. It's like a timeline of where my life has been. And this was such a difficult time, but it was like the first time I like properly smiled since that. So it's a special little shoot.
Yeah, I think that's it, right? These shoots are, especially when you're photograph people, whether you're doing it professionally or for fun or whatever, like the things that you do, the time that you spend with the people, the interaction, that's really the great thing about it to me. The photos we make, of course, are awesome. You know, I love to make art or whatever you want to call it, but it's
Yeah.
those moments where you're hanging out with people. That's really the part that I really, really like. That's why I'm a people photographer.
Yeah, those photos are really special.
Oh,
Oh, it's
well,
back. The Muppet is back.
yeah. So, yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
we look related there.
yeah, right. This was is that the screen capture? Didn't you do
Yeah,
another one in the
I didn't. I couldn't
you did a
find that
selfie
one,
with it?
but
I
it's
was looking
my, yeah, I was too, because that's actually my photo when you call.
for that. Yeah, so there's the Muppet with Sharinna. Yeah, so no, and this is actually 100% serious. I mean, like I said at the beginning, like we were thinking about it. We're like, okay, we want to reveal this thing, and we need to do it in such a way. But we need the right person to be in the video that is going to be able to play it really, really smooth. And I'm like, yeah, Sharinna will be able to do that. And you did. And
Patty is
actually,
asking who made the Muppet.
the Muppet is made by a company called Fuzzhead Puppets. Um, so you can check out Fuzzhead. They're pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah,
This
and
is a screen capture. It's actually episode 74 if anybody wants to watch that video.
episode 74. There you go. And now we're on like over 250. It's so crazy, right?
Yeah, that was 2016.
Yeah, right. Wow. But yeah, so we made that thing, and we really want. We're like, we need to launch this thing. Like, and we did. We actually, I think we did a great job with it. You did a great job with it.
Honestly, it's an
Honestly, I
amazing
just
Muppet.
stand there and they do everything else. Fernando
The
works.
captured even, oh, the Fernando was like exhausted by the end of that shoot.
Yeah.
Exhausted.
Yeah, it's like the crew does such a great job on this. I literally just stand there. So it's like I can't really, I can't take too much credit for the Muppet, but it was a great idea, and yeah, well, he's coming back.
I can't wait. I
Yeah,
can't
I
wait.
mean, we gotta bust it out. Let's see. Orange peel skin. That's right. Seth. Yeah, the orange. Yeah, the Muppet has awesome skin.
It really does.
Such a legend. I am a legend in my own mind. You made the puppet fuss. I said, okay, good. Oh wow, we're caught up. I'm doing better on the comments this time. Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
awesome. So yeah, let's talk about this one.
everyone's
This
really
was
involved.
super
I love
fun.
it.
Um, this was the Profoto B2 launch, and I think it's funny. This one just comes up. Yeah, this was the last shot of the day.
That was the
Yeah,
last
because look at how
shot.
red you are. Look at how red you
Disclaimer, it was the coldest I've ever been in my entire life.
are. Oh my,
I mean,
so
I think I got frostbite.
it was so cold. So that behind her is the Hudson River. And when we got there that day, I was like, I don't think this is, yeah, okay. This is earlier in the day. So you can see the Hudson River is not frozen. I mean, it was that cold that the river literally froze while we were shooting. And then in the
Yep.
end, wow, it was cold.
It was so cold, but these photos are so beautiful. Like to this day, and it's been years, like I can't believe we did this. And
Yeah,
I have so many layers on.
yeah, it was so awesome. This was like totally, this was like from the earlier days too of like the thing. So I had gone down to Puerto Rico. I guess I won't stay on one picture too long. I had gone down to Puerto Rico when they introed this thing. Like I really like that shot with the hat and everything.
That is an amazing shot. It looked Russian. I'm all about it.
Yeah, everything's working there, and yeah,
everything's working in that.
Yeah, that's showing the high speed sync. So this is actually right down the street from my house, and I got the Profoto had shown me the light, and I was like, oh man, I would love to do a video on this before you launch it, and they let me use it, and I actually did this video kind of top secret. Like Adorama themselves did not know about it, and then they were like,
I didn't know that.
until we like revealed it, because they were like, oh, we need to do a video. This thing's coming out, and I'm like, we already did it. That was back in the early days.
You're like, been there, done that.
Yeah, here it is. But man, what a fun shoot that was. It was so cool.
God, that was so cool. I had great ribs that day because we went upstate. Was it upstate? Would that be considered upstate?
It's not upstate for people that live upstate.
Okay.
Like
we were outside of the city.
Yeah, everybody who lives in like New York City would call where I live upstate, but people who live upstate do not call where I live upstate.
What would they call it? I live in
the Hudson Valley. It's the Hudson Valley.
Oh, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But yes, I guess I know what you're saying. But this was the coldest day ever.
Yeah, it was so cold. And it was like, okay, we're going to go out and do this. And was it Gene? Gene was with us, right? It was
Gene was with us.
And Gene, I think, was helping. And it was so cool. I mean, when we did that last shot, we were literally in my Jeep, like getting everything like put together in the Jeep. We literally like ran out there and shot so fast and then ran back in.
Well, we couldn't turn off the car because it had to stay warm because we were not going to survive that.
Yeah, it was so cold. I mean, it started off cold, but it got really cold. But yeah, I love these shots. This was one of my favorite shoots ever that we did, and yeah.
It was worth it for the photo.
The cursor on the photo.
My frostbite was worth it.
Yeah, exactly, and I think that's it, right? What I used to work for this photographer, and then whenever like the shoots were so like crazy. Like we'd be like, it'd be like that, like it'd be super cold or something would fall apart or something would be hard. Yeah. He would always say, in a year, this is going to be a great story. It's like, as long as you get the photos. If you don't get the photos, it's not so great of a story. But if you get the photos.
No, you know what's crazy? I had only had like a winter the last 2 years because I moved from Miami. I had never been in a city that went through winter. And to go through this, I think I got eczema after that. It was crazy. My body was like, I don't know what's happening, but this is not what you're used to. It was so bizarre.
Oh my God. I like torture people. Yeah, it's like the shoot that I did for the Profoto B10 with Marissa, and she got poison ivy all over her body because I brought her to the middle of the woods.
What?
Yeah. Well, I mean, she should learn not to itch it. That's how it spreads.
She should. Marissa, you heard it here first. Right? You should learn. Don't itch your poison ivy.
Yeah, when you get poison ivy, don't itch it. Okay, what happened? Puppet of Seth. They need to get a puppet of Seth. Well, Seth can certainly get a puppet if he wants to get one.
Oh, that would be awesome. If you and Seth had a Muppet off.
As well. Yeah. Oh, you already answered. Yes. As well. You are an actor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. More of an actor than anything else.
I mean, this is from the new link, so I get it. Actor, film, TV, You're
like a triple threat. I never know what that means, but I feel like that's the thing that people say when somebody has a lot of
It's talents. A different triple threat, because usually when they say that it's like dance, sing, act, I'm more like model, host, act, but I'll take it.
There you go. That works though, right?
So yeah, it's a little different.
I'm like coffee drinker, photographer.
Triple.
Yeah,
coffee
drinker,
Syracuse. Photographer. Is that considered more like upstate?
Yeah, well, Syracuse would be upstate. That's like 4 hours north, maybe further.
Oh God, is it cold there still? Are you guys getting snow? I wonder.
I think Syracuse. Are you guys in the river? Not the river. The what are they called? There's like an area that's right by the lakes up there that it just always gets snow. like up near Rochester. I don't know. I actually don't know the New York geography that well, so I'm probably showing that right now. But I know Syracuse is up there. You still have stayed in Syracuse.
Somebody said Daniel is a light guru. You are Daniel, and a light within and outside too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean that's literally how I ended up where I am. I mean, they needed somebody that was. This is weird. I don't think I've ever told the story before, so I'll tell it now. When I was
Oh, how exciting!
So I was. This is now years ago. So before I started with Adorama, so B&H, the competition, they actually did what Adorama later did, which was they were like, oh, we want a photographer to kind of be there to like talk to people, and they were hiring a few people, and they wanted him to work in the pro camera department. So my friend who was a photographer was doing it, and he's like, oh, you should do this. You know, you got some spare time. I'm like, okay. At the time, I was shooting all catalogs, and I didn't need the money, but I was kind of bored. So I was like, I'll go to a store and talk to people about cameras. It sounds like an amazing thing. So I go in there and I start talking to the guy, and all of a sudden he's like, hold on. And he brings in this other guy, and we just start talking about all the different lighting stuff. They're like, oh no, we only find like one person out of 1,000 that knows anything about lighting. We're like, we need you to go to the lighting thing. And I was like, okay. What? Yeah. So I went down there and I met like a bunch of people. I didn't do it very long because it wasn't what they kind of promised, but whatever, I'm not going to get into that. So I only did it for like a couple months, but there was a guy that I met there, and that's how I ended up at Adorama, because he actually was connected with the BH thing. And then he saw me walking out of Adorama, and he's like, we want to start a professional division. And I was like, listen, I'm not going to go through what I went through there. It's like, we need to have different terms. And basically we did. So that's
wow.
But that's literally
and that's how it all began.
Yeah, like if I hadn't done that, I probably wouldn't have ended up at Adorama, and then a lot of this other stuff might not have happened. So it's super interesting how life like sends you around, you know?
Yeah, your journey.
Yeah, exactly. That's part of the Hudson where I grew up, Bear Mountain Bridge. But yeah, exactly. Yep, was the Bear Mountain Bridge right in the beginning, in the behind her. Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah.
Don't scratch it. You might don't scratch it. Oh, right. Well, I don't know. I'm from the Northeast. We say itch. Finger Lakes? No, Finger Lakes is like north, right? I don't know. I don't know New York that well. I'm sorry. I also don't even really know the area I live in that well, to be honest with you, because I moved here and I mostly like was in the city every day for like the first bunch of years I lived.
Yes, it's not like you explored as much.
Yeah, I'm exploring.
I don't know that much. I've been to like New Paltz, the Adirondacks. That was fun in the summer. That was very fun. I forgot what the lake's name was, but I've done a little bit of exploring for coming from the beaches of Miami Beach.
Yeah, it is so different up here, right? It's like people don't realize I'm very close to New York City, but I'm literally in the middle of nowhere. So it's kind of cool.
You're in a different world.
Yeah, it's like I didn't know either until I came up here. I actually
don't you have a well? You have a well, don't you?
I have a well and septic. I'm like completely. I have electric, I guess, from the grid, but I'm pretty much off the grid as far as that kind of stuff.
Daniel has a well. For those who didn't know,
I do. I have a well, and it's and the water is delicious. Let's see. Saw John Prine. Yes, I love John Prine. So good. Networking. Yep. Life is interesting. Moved to Canada from Massachusetts.
Whoa.
Yeah. Okay. See, there you go.
Yeah.
We're from Massachusetts. Yes. Yeah. Agreed. So yeah, I mean, cool. Let's look at more pictures. Let's see. Let's go. Oh, it's the 200th episode. That was super fun. So if you guys didn't see the 200th episode of On Set, let me share again. There should just be a button that I can just do it easily, but I'm not going to criticize. I'm criticizing. All right. Am I sharing now?
Yeah, right? This is Marissa and I.
So this is from the, so for the 200th episode, I decided to kind of recreate, I don't know, I hate to say recreate, but do a photo like a photo that I really liked. And this was after, I guess, and we just shot some fun individual, like this is like I'm fun and
that's me. That's basically me without posing.
Yeah. And then it's like, boom.
That's posing.
Like, she's like, got to work the hips.
Yeah. I mean, those jeans are great. So
they are, yeah. It's good. High-waisted jeans. Yeah, but this is so fun. I love the natural smile though. But then we're just goofing around. And this is a good example of like I have fun. Like I was saying this the other day, like when I used to just shoot commercial like catalogs and stuff, we never really hung out with the talent so much because it was literally like it's a grind.
Oh, yeah.
Like boom, boom, boom. It's like doing the stuff that I do now. It's so much more fun because of exactly that reason. We get to just hang out. And also,
Also,
I'm
the
my own.
models pitch in a lot. Like I had an idea for something, you're like, okay, let's try it with this light. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, you feel like you're more involved in your own work.
Yeah, and I think that's super important, guys. If you work with talent, I mean, obviously you have to choose what you want to try and not try, but never just be that person that just rejects ideas because it wasn't the thing you thought of, because you just don't know. If they suggest something, then that's because they think they see something, and at least take a moment to figure out if that could work. Sometimes it's not going to work, and you can just tell them, be like, well, the reason why that wouldn't work is. But I've seen way too many photographers in my day just be like, no, I'm not listening to anybody. The assistant's just there to move my crap. The model's just there to be in front of the camera. No, we're a team. We're all working together. Everybody wants great shots. So it's like, if somebody has an idea, try it. I mean, it doesn't hurt you. So it might hurt your pride, I guess.
100%.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Yes, the water is very good. Although I have
time machine.
Yeah, the water is good here. It's my water is very hard though. So this is super interesting, I think. I was watching this thing on Netflix about the Ottoman Empire, and I didn't realize that Constantinople, they had this giant iron chain that went across one of basically the port, and they would raise the chain so the boats couldn't get past it. And the reason why this is interesting is because where I live is right down the street from what used to be an iron mine, and I guess during the Revolutionary War, they did the same thing here. And I thought it was the most interesting. They built this giant chain and put it across the Hudson River so that the British could not get up to West Point. And I was like, wow, that's such an interesting idea. But apparently they got the idea from this, 2,000-year-old, whatever, war between the Ottoman Empire and super interesting, right?
Not everything is out of fashion. You can learn stuff from before too.
It's weird, right? I just thought it was super interesting. I was like, oh my
your
God,
water is hard. Your water feels like harsh on your hair and your skin, or no?
I missed you.
Did you hear me? Oh, I said, is your water like harsh on your skin or your hair?
Yeah, it is. I definitely have hard water. So there's lots of iron in my water. So if you are anemic, come to my house. Because my water is full of iron.
And that is how Daniel Norton invites you to his house.
Yeah, that's it. If you're anemic, come to my house.
Come to my house. Whoa, I got the perfect solution for you.
But yes, actually, and because of that, every couple of years I have to replace my faucets and stuff because my water is so hard. It's actually crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I did have a water softener at one point, but it kept breaking. So I just suck it up and put new faucets on.
Yeah, in England, it's very like chalky. So it also it dries you out a lot because the ground is like kind of like chalk. So yeah, it just depends. New York City has great water. My skin is soft. It's amazing.
Well, you know where they get their water from? From here. It's like just north of me, like maybe like 50 miles. Yeah, there's like a huge reservoir, and that's where the water comes from.
Oh man!
The water in New York City is like the best water. I mean, it's not from right here. My water is hard because I'm right near an iron mine, but yeah, there's like a huge reservoir, like I don't know, maybe 50 miles north. It's pretty interesting, right?
Yeah, I don't buy wells in the city. There's no point.
Yeah, no, New York City water is very, very good.
Somebody said we have amazing water here in Scotland. Ooh, I've been dying to go to Scotland. So that just makes me want to go even more.
Yeah. There you go. Good water. It's dark. Oh yeah, Ithaca. That's also very far north. So that's upstate. It's funny too, right? So you must have noticed this. This is like an interesting thing. So because having lived in Miami or whatever, like that the days are just longer down there, and you don't really realize it till you live up here, and you see the days get really short. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the sun's out till like 8:30. Like you're fully tanning until like 7. So yeah, very long days, very hot.
Yeah, it's so interesting, right? And like I guess I knew that like scientifically that you'd have longer days closer to the equator, but like until you live it, you just don't.
You just don't get it.
You don't really realize it. Yeah, the story. Let's see. Because you now strictly expose flash at 160 versus your flash goes to. Because of you, I now strictly. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got to go max sync speed. That's super important. So yeah, the black frame and everything is that I always go through every time with setting your speed and stuff. That's just like standard fare. Like everybody should just do that to start, and you'll really see the power of Flash. Flash is super. It's
I
super
love
powerful.
Flash.
Yeah,
Love Flash. Because for
it
my round
really.
face,
Well, the thing is, no, and it's true because it helps you shape things and make form the way you want it because you can really control the light better than you can with constant light sources. You know, that's the. Is there a shortage of Brooklyn reflectors? No, not yet. Oh, favorite episode is when Marissa dresses up like me. Yes, Marissa did dress up like me. Yeah, and I dressed up like her. I don't see that getting mentioned. Oh my God. What a funny, that was for Halloween and it was torturous. Uh, yeah, exactly. Keep the ports. Yep. Okay, see, there we go. We're all kinds of history stuff going on.
that's amazing. I'm learning so much from
Limestone.
this chat.
Oh, I'm behind you. I'm just on the Scotland thing now. Jeez, you're so fast. The water is trash
Yeah.
in London. Oh. New York bagels are good. I think they are good because of the water,
Oh, that
actually.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Also,
haven't had a New York bagel in a while.
I know, and the thing is I think they make the bagels different. Like if you go to like a big chain store or whatever, and you get bagels like not in New York, they don't make them the same. I think they just bake them, but in New York they boil them, then they bake
They
them.
boil them and then they bake them. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
and that's
trick.
what makes the difference. Yeah. So I think that's a big difference. Yeah, it seems I know that little bit. I learned that because when I moved here, so we used to. Oh wow, this is the best thing about for anybody who doesn't who's never lived in New York. The best thing about New York, and I mean the city, is that all the little companies and shops and stuff. Like we had the best little bagel place right outside my place in Astoria. It was like family run. It had been there like 30
Mm.
years. Like such a great bagel place. And then of course they opened a friggin' Starbucks like 2 blocks away, and people went there. I'm like, why would you go there when this is like amazing? So I
And
don't
there's
want to get.
also great coffee in New York. Like that is not Starbucks.
Yeah, exactly. That's almost like the worst coffee. But I do get it though, because when tourists, I get it in the main part of the city because tourists like
Yeah.
to eat what tourists eat. But you know, although which is the opposite of me. Like when I used to travel a lot for work, and I got this from another photographer, I stole from him. He always said, because I was his assistant at the beginning, he was like, wherever we go, we will never eat a chain restaurant. Whatever city we land in, we're going to eat in a restaurant that is local to that city. And
Ooh,
I had
that's
some of
such
the
a great advice.
yeah, and I mean that's it. You know, I mean sometimes the restaurants are terrible, you know, but it was always different. It wasn't like, oh, we're going to go to like a Olive Garden. Like we never went to
And
an
had
Olive.
a little piece of that city too.
Yeah, exactly, and you get to see. Let's see. I should just make this bigger so I don't have to keep leaning forward. Just noticed iPhone. Yep, she's very creative. Yep, nerd. Okay. Okay. Okay, hold on. Daniel, if you had to take one portable, there we go. Okay, if you had to take one portable light system to be able to
Question.
portrait people while traveling the world, which system would I take?
Hmm.
Well, that would really depend. See, I'm going to give a classic Daniel answer. You should know by asking me any question that I'm not going to give you the answer. It would depend on how much I could carry. I mean, you say portable, everything's portable. I mean, we traveled all over the world with 2000 watt second Norman packs. If I have a crew and whatever, then I would take big, huge systems. If I had to
You
carry it
can
in my
take it.
backpack, I'd take like a Profoto A1 or something. It really just depends. It depends on how much I can carry. You have to give much more specifics than that. But I will tell you, currently, right now, when I travel, I take a roller case with 4 Profoto A1s in them. So, but it wouldn't be my first choice if I had more space. I'd do that literally because I'm by myself and that's all I can carry. Flash. I was a little young for that movie. Flash Gordon or The Flash. Uh, if the water bagel theory is true, then the pizza crust story is the same. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Trademark is important. As much as I hate to pay premium prices for the Gear Pro V2 and B10 are amazing. That's true. They are. Sport local. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, just one backpack. I would probably take I mean, see, here's the thing. This is a good question. If I was I mean, I shoot Profoto, so I'd probably take Profoto. And I think that you could probably fit two A1s in the space that you could fit a B10. So I'd probably still choose A1s just because I'd rather have more sources. than the B10, but the B10 is great. It's a nice light.
There's so many like letters and numbers. B10,
Joe McNally
B,
showed some books from his
A1,
library.
B2.
Yeah, it's all, B1, 2, 3, 5. You're an actress slash host. What was the other thing? There was something else too. Actress, host. What was your triple?
Patty's asking me, how did I keep my fingers and toes warm when it was so cold during our winter shoot? Every like couple of photos, I would go into, I think, whoever's car it was, and then just get warm again, and then get out again. I had like 3 pairs of socks on. It was crazy. Yeah, I was not really fully like. I think everybody, when you get to a certain point where it's that cold, you can get warm until you're just like fully in front of a chimney. So it was really cold.
Yeah, it was the coldest I think I've ever been on a photo shoot. No question.
Yeah.
I've been cold on photo shoots, but this was very cold. Joe McNally showed some books from his library. Do I have a library? I do not have a library of photo books, really. I have a handful of photo books. I don't look to photography. I don't know how to say it that way. For inspiration normally. I don't really collect photo books because I don't look at them. I have a few.
I feel like photography is such a hands-on experience.
Yeah, I mean, some people love to look at photo books and be like, "Oh, I love this photographer." So I'm not really a photo book person. I mean, I never have been. I used to have tons of photo books. So back in the day, before there was YouTube and such, there would be tons and they probably still do. People actually buy Vanessa Joy's book. She just came out with a book. But there used to be a lot of photo books that were tutorial books, like to teach you technique and stuff. So those books I had a lot of. And when I left Miami, I gave them all to people who had been assisting me because I didn't want to carry them around anymore. I have a handful of books. They're actually over there. I just don't feel like getting up. I have the Kate Moss book because Kate Moss is without a doubt the best model ever. I have a Us Magazine book, which is pretty cool because it's like a lot of celebrity portraiture.
Whoa, that's a big statement.
Yeah, and actually I think it's valuable now because they don't make them anymore. And I have a Peter Lindbergh book because I love Peter Lindbergh.
Actually, wasn't the 200th episode inspired by Peter?
No, Herb Ritz. I think Seth said that though. That you said it was inspired.
What was it? Herb Ritz.
Herb Ritz. Yeah, Herb Ritz, amazing. Yeah. But I never had Herb Ritz book. I really liked his stuff, but I didn't never have his book. Amazing celebrity photographer. Maybe I'll pull the books out. I may have like 10 books. I mean, I don't know what you consider a library. I would not consider that a library. I definitely have more books that are like, paperback sci-fi books. And I have way more gaming books than anything else. I'm a collector there, I guess.
I have played some D&D with you.
That's right. Yeah, we're going to get together and play something, I think, online. We got to figure that out.
That would be fun.
Yeah. You were excellent at it.
I got killed in 1 minute once, and then I lasted way longer than I should have the first time. So you never know.
Yeah. I mean, so from my end, like, so I did the exact same thing that Sharinna did. Like when it's cold, well, this is where, like, I guess you would say experience comes in. Like I didn't have to spend a long time figuring the shots out. Like every shot was done pretty quickly once it started to get very cold. We stopped goofing around. Like that's when the professionalism kicks in and we're like, all right, let's do this. We literally go out and shoot. Like, I think that last part, because remember, it wasn't just running out there and taking the photos. That's, I think, the part that people forget. We had to shoot a video too, where I had to like explain things. Yes. Like that's the part that sucks. Taking the photos is fast and easy. Like that's super easy. But the running out there and standing there while you're doing the video.
I remember you used to use the snow as like a reflector because it was so white. You literally would use that like to light me of how quickly we needed to make that happen. So I remember that.
I'm taking a Godox AD200, but I'm thinking of switching just to a B1. A B1 is very big though, and a totally different category than an AD200. The only reason why I would think it would be a good idea to use inexpensive equipment is if you are going to be in a situation where it might get trashed. Like I used to help a lot of people when I was the lighting consultant. And I remember when we first launched the thing, and they'd say something like, "Well, I'm going to go on this thing, like, in this where India, I'm going to go to India for a month and make portraits, and I don't know what my conditions are going to be. I'm not going to da, da, da. And I might go in places that are a little bit rough. And I would never be like, yeah, buy a $2,000 flash. Like that would just be silly. Like buy something cheap because if it gets smashed or whatever, so you might want something cheap depending on what time you're traveling. I am way too old to travel like that now. Like I got to stay in a hotel that's safe.
Like those days are long gone.
Yeah, exactly. I don't do that kind of stuff anymore. Oh, well, there you go. Sharinna, it'd be fun to do a shoot with you. Yes, it is fun to do a shoot with her. I almost always look at art books for inspiration. Hands-on tutorial videos are better than the books. I agree. So the reason why, so I guess I'll explain myself. The reason why I got away from the idea of buying a book, and I'm not saying not to do it, buy Vanessa's book, is that what I found was almost never was my situation the same as the situation in the book. So I'd pick up the book and I would have a lighting diagram and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to do it like this. And then I would set it up and it wouldn't look anything like that because my subject's not the same. My environment's not the same. My equipment is not the exact same equipment they're using. Better to take from that is just the idea that they're getting from it. So I never found the books that just have diagrams and how-tos that interesting, unless they got much more in-depth, which is why I think a video is nicer. I mean, personally. But of course, and there were videos back then. Dean Collins, and in fact, if you look on YouTube, somebody has violated the copyright for sure and put them online. Dean Collins was like the OG of like photo videos, and they're very good. Okay. Yes, it is. Art books. Carried around time-lapse photography series for years. Yeah. Oh, okay. Some comments are being held. I'm letting them through because they're using the word ass. If you swear, they're going to hold your comment. So, yeah, if it's going to get beat up, then bring something cheap. That would be my advice there. That's cool. Yeah. I mean, yeah. If you drop your light and it doesn't break, that's not something to brag about. That's like pretty standard. Like, I hope it doesn't break when you drop it. Cool. I'm just going through this quickly. Sorry, guys. Thanks. If you could go back in time, who would you shoot and why?
Sharinna. What?
Yeah.
Nobody heard that. Nobody heard that.
I'm not the type of person. I'm like, I get these questions, but like, I feel like that I'm pretty happy with my decisions in life and what I did. I mean,
probably Kate Moss. Ooh. Well, I guess it's just me, y'all. Daniel has left. See where he's at. Is he back? He's back. I was on live by myself. Well, I can answer your photography questions. Sharinna, if you had to pick one crop that you like best, would it be red crop, full body? Ooh. Oh, no. Not full body. Oh my God, no. Good close up.
Am I back?
Yeah, you are back.
Okay, good.
Literally was just me and I was like, hi, everybody.
Yeah, so what happened was I have an AC power source for my camera and I forgot to plug it in. I was running it off batteries.
I was like, it's me here, everybody. I can't answer photography questions that much.
You could try. Yes, I don't know. I mean,
definitely tight crop, just answering question.
Oh yeah, crops are good.
Yeah, tight crop, no way full body.
Yeah, tight crop over full body, you're saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you like when the top of your head is cropped off?
I don't love it, but if it's a good like face shot, yeah, of course. There's a lot of hair, I get it. But a full body, oh no, that's too much commitment. It's everything has to be in the right place. I'm curvy, so it's like I have to be at a specific angle. Oh man, no. Triggered. I'm triggered.
Yeah, I agree with that. Plus, I feel like full length photos, they're good if they're needed, but I just think that like, how often do you really need to see somebody's whole body? I mean, unless it's very specifically for that. I like to get close to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, the battery died again. People learn because I do this a lot. This is something I've done before. Talk about whether. Oh, Sharinna, did you talk about whether or not you are able to work in the current environment, or are you choosing not to?
Oh, during this time. Well, I did a voiceover gig, which is amazing. I did it in a walk-in closet. And I just sat there and did this voiceover gig. I'm still auditioning. Yeah, it's tough, but I think because everyone's in this together, you're just trying to, just take a moment, take a breather, kind of reevaluate where you're at, and kind of stay healthy. So that's what I'm doing. But if I could work, I of course would, because I miss it so much. But yeah, definitely taking my time.
Yeah, I guess that's it, right? Because we do what we love. So like, of course I would want to work no matter what.
Of
It's
course.
not because, but yeah, I think people are getting super creative. I mean, lots and lots of people are streaming, they're doing different things. I think it's really cool. We were talking about with Marissa that people are doing like readings, like actors are getting together and doing readings. Like that's super cool.
Yeah, I mean, I take acting classes. There's a lot of actors who post monologues. They keep busy. But also, the whole point of acting is to experience. So it's also okay to live your life so that you have something to talk about when you come out of this. Because in New York, that's all you think about. I actually was shocked at how little I actually thought about my life outside of acting. And it's good. Sometimes my hoop keeps falling, which is amazing. It comes keep just like have a moment to think about your life and what do you want to do, and go outside and look at a tree. Like, we don't get to do that. Like, that's also really fun. So do that.
No, that's true actually, right? Because you're kind of like right nose to the grind, right? When you're trying to get out there and make it. So in some ways, it's forcing us to be like, well, I can't. So let's do something good. I mean,
Yeah,
I think
let's
some
live.
people are probably stressing out and freaking out that they can't do stuff. But I think if you can get a nice, healthy attitude about, well, I'll do what I can, and then I can also have fun and do other things.
Yeah, pick up a hobby, read, I don't know, learn a language. You could do anything around this time if you're healthy and you have the ability to do it. Marissa just said, I love Queen Sherry, and I'm honored because she's a queen herself. Just take it all in.
Oh.
Let's do a slow clap for Marissa.
Yeah. Yeah. Marissa's very good. She's not bad. She's all right.
She ain't bad. She ain't.
We'll do
I just added
we'll
flair to what you said.
Well, no, we're gonna do a celebrity, because you guys are celebrities. I'm not a celebrity, but you guys are D&D thing for charity.
Oh my god, that would be really fun.
Yeah, we're
That
definitely
would be very fun.
Let's see. Things are touching, blah, blah, blah. I missed where I was.
That's what people don't know. People think that, Marissa is a stunner, but she kind of nerdy like me, That's really her charm. That's why we love her. Because she's like literally old Hollywood, but she gets down. My girl. My girl.
Yeah, no, I think and also no matter like how good looking you are, like if you're boring, like people are just not interesting. I think people just won't want to work with you over time. So yeah. It's that's why you find that people with the that are very genuine, they end up lasting. So anybody who you see that I work with multiple times is a very cool person, because I don't I don't play that game. Well, it's not that. I mean, I want to have a good time.
You're
I mean,
picky
sometimes
one.
somebody is, yeah. I am allowed to be. Some of my favorite portrait photographers, living or dead. That's a good question. Well, I mean, probably my favorite portrait photographer is Danny Clinch. Yeah, I'll say that. And of course, I liked Herbert's, and he's dead. So there's one living, one dead. So you good. Peter Lindbergh. See, this is funny, and I think it's really odd, because I guess I am. I don't know if it's like being a Marine, like you always are once you stop. A fashion photographer, I basically call almost all fashion photographers portrait photographers, because most really established fashion photographers don't walk around saying I'm a fashion photographer. They shoot people, They might say I shoot fashion, but they don't say I'm a fashion photographer. Most of them consider themselves portrait photographers. They just happen to photograph people in clothes.
Yeah, it's like people that live in a mansion, they don't call it a mansion, they call it a house.
Right, exactly. So I
Nobody's gonna
think
say I live
most
in a
fashion
mansion.
shooters, right, exactly. And when they do say I live in a mansion, then they're not like that's the nouveau riche. Like that's like
Yeah,
it's. I mean, I don't want to,
it's weird. It's like, ew.
Yeah,
He
like
called his own house a mansion. Ugh.
yeah. So I think most fashion photographers consider themselves portrait photographers. So I also consider, like, I would consider Peter Lindbergh, who is very much a fashion photographer, like a portrait photographer. I love his portraits.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, he's one of my favorite photographers of all time. Yeah, I love, and again, I'm not saying I never shoot full length. I just don't necessarily feel like full length is that, because, okay, the reason why I think it's not as interesting from my point of view as teaching is because generally speaking, when you're shooting something full length, you have to move everything back further, which means that you have less chance to shape light unless you're going to use very directional hard light. So it kind of limits what you can show. So I can either show a giant soft thing, lighting them even, or I can show a very small light throwing a shadow, but I can't show the subtlety that you can show with a closer shot generally, because I can get the lights in closer. Yeah. Yes, both Marissa and Sharinna are classy. Well, I mean, I don't know if versus classic.
You don't know what I was.
I'm just
kidding. Oh my god! I was like, did
super
he just
classy.
stop at classy?
You are classy. Yeah, I mean, I like a lot of photographers. I don't know. I mean, there's not many photographers I don't like that are like the classic photographers that you see, but I don't look at photographers for inspiration, so I don't really have favorites like that. Like I have much more favorite subjects than I would have photographers. I mean, like Irving Penn, looking amazing. I'm swearing.
God, yeah.
You've got Man Ray.
Actually, I'm surprised it took that long to swear, Daniel.
Yeah, I love her. That's true. I'm not with Seth, so I don't swear as much. Yeah, I mean, Irving Penn is pretty amazing. I mean, yeah, I mean, there's Avedon. I mean, there's a million great photographers.
You're inspired.
Would Man Ray be as boring, weird hipster in his time, or was he more of a maybe? I don't think that. I mean, I don't. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't. And me. Like, I mean, I'll joke sometimes because everybody jokes, but like, I think that young, photographers that are hipsters or whatever you want to call them, that's how I was looked at when I was a young photographer. Like all the old photographers were like, "You're a slacker and your thing. I can't believe you're shooting print film." Like, it's like that's just the way that it is. There's always going to be this like older generation that's like, blah blah blah. But shit changes. I mean, times change. You have to adapt to it. So I mean, I embrace young photographers. I mean, not like that. Well, maybe if they embrace me first and it's consensual. But I think young people are full of inspiration and ideas, and I think they're a great source for it. And then we steal it from them. Maybe I am a vampire.
You just figured that out? I mean, come on, look at the photo that we posted. You look the same. It's been years.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, I just think that like everybody brings something to the table. Like everybody's got a story. And part of what we do is trying to pull our story out and put it in front of people, however we're going to do it. Whether you express yourself as an actor or a model, or you express yourself as a writer or as a photographer, those are all just ways that we all express ourselves. I think everybody brings something to the table, young, old, everybody's got something interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. I mean, they don't realize that they have it. And that's because old, craggly people are trying to keep them down. Like, I mean, and I'm being serious. Like the number of people that told me that I should not be a photographer when I was a teenager and wanted to do it. And I'm sure that there was a lot of people just like me that when that happened, they basically were like, okay, I won't do it. I'll get the job in the factory or whatever. And, that sucks. Like, and I think we should let people, take those chances when they're young and try to be creative. Not everybody will make a living off of it.
That's interesting hearing it from you because, actors hear it all the time. How, for example, for me, just from simply my race or my ethnicity, I'm supposed to not play certain things. And so It's funny. It's funny that everyone has an experience where they probably have been told at some time that they shouldn't be doing what they know that they should be doing. So that just
Yeah,
stinks you.
exactly. No, I like that you said that because you know if it's the thing that you're supposed to do, then you know it. I mean,
You know it.
that's the way. It's just in you. You know, it's like, no, this is what I'm supposed to do. Like, and I'm going to do it. You know, and you will do it.
Yeah. Patty asks if I have ever had a shoot where I wear special effect makeup. I have not. And I have asked Seth, I don't know how many times. I'd be like, turn me into a vampire. Werewolf. I don't care. Put some blood on me. Let's do it. So you've been warned, Seth. Can't wait.
Yeah, you know what? Let's throw some shade at Seth while he's not here.
Yes, Seth.
Yeah, why are you not shooting more special effects? Yeah, well, I guess a part of that too, though, he should use you though. But a part of that is that I think that to do that stuff at a certain level, you need the artist, and it's very expensive. So I don't think that as much of it is done, except in the case of like doing it for the artists. But yeah, it's super fun. I mean, the stuff I've seen Seth do, I haven't been there that much when he's doing it, but he's so talented at it, and the stuff is really cool.
Oh yeah, some of the shots are incredible.
Dislike the new idea that everything. I don't think it's a new idea that everything's going towards natural light photography. I think that's always been around. Just have to say your videos daily do a great service. Oh well, thank you. I try.
That's sweet.
Yeah, because I don't seem to have affluence. I agree. I've been told by people that I'm not going to name names, but they're like, "Oh, you gotta stand up and have an opinion." I mean, my opinion is that I think everybody has something to say. So. I mean, I'm not going to be like this camera sucks or that company sucks or this person is terrible because, you know, who am I to say that? I think I said this when we did the Adorama host thing. If you guys saw that, I should kind of, well, I got it from, but I got it like in a way of expression, or I saw it was through Mark Wallace. Whenever Mark Wallace does a video, he always brings something positive to it. Like he looks at it and he just is like, this is what I like about this. He doesn't name all the negatives. He goes, this is what I like. This is what I would do with it. You know, and I think that's a better way to look at life. I miss my studio in New York at this moment. Yes. Are you getting another drink? Is that where you're going?
Me?
Yeah. I thought you were leaving since I left once.
Oh, no, I'm here. I'm here. My drink is definitely going to, yeah, I was trying to, because I'm on this chair. So I'm like, ooh, yeah. Booty's getting numb.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, yeah, actually, we've been going for an hour and a half. An hour and a half? What?
I know, that's quite a happy hour for you all. And you got to see some blasts from the past shoots. It's been great.
It is.
We got knocked down by YouTube. It's been great.
That was actually kind of fun. Oh, favorite headshot? Actually, was this during the, hold on. Now we know which one is your favorite headshot. Oh, with a long lens. Interesting.
It was and it was with the red jacket. I guess we'll show that as a noir.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Oh. That headshot, let me just say, has gotten me more work than any other headshot I've ever had. Because what does it look like? She looks like a cop.
Yeah. You get all the cop jobs for this one.
I've gotten every cop role from that shot ever.
Yeah, you look like a badass. And so what's interesting here is this is actually a long lens. I don't normally shoot with long lenses, but it worked. It has a different effect, you know?
You were so far away.
Yeah, because the further away you are from something, the more it compresses it. So it makes your nose look tinier. It makes your jaw more squared off. It just changes the look.
Yeah, it was a shot I used a lot.
Yeah. So like that.
I'm very thankful for this headshot.
Like this is actually, so if you compare them, I mean, I know they're not exactly the same angle, but you see how like here your nose looks. Can you see my mouse? You can, right? Like, oh, you can't see English watching thing, but like here you look flatter, and here you look like you have more three-dimensionality. Part of that is the light, but part of it is that this is a wider lens. So each has their way, but yeah, there you go. There's the cop shot. So if you want to get your subject's cop stuff, oh, this was great. We'll show this one too while we're here.
This was
that's
so
the
much
I used
fun.
for the thing. Yeah, this was when they built the Oval Office in the YouTube studio, and
so I was President Cherry for a day.
Yep, that was pretty awesome.
Honestly, I'm kind of a badass president. I don't know about y'all, but who would vote for me? Seriously.
I mean, I would for sure. Yeah, you are kind of a badass president. We need somebody like you, you know.
Somebody
And
asked
then,
me if I do my own makeup. Yeah, I do my own makeup for I think 95% of the shoots we've ever done. Um,
yeah, I
because
have a thing.
my face is very specific, and most people turn me into a like I look like a drag queen when I have a makeup artist. Not that that's a bad thing if you're going for that, but for me, it's just too much. It was too much. I have too many like features that are too intense, and it just has to be done a certain.
Yeah, I agree. And actually, this is, I know makeup artists are going to like hate me because I say this. I actually do makeup, as you probably know. And one of the reasons why I learned how to do makeup is because makeup artists, most makeup artists are like most photographers when they first learn Photoshop. Like they don't know how to turn it off. They just do way too much. So you get somebody who has really strong features like you, and then they just like over the top. It's
Yeah.
like, you don't need to do that. So, I actually learned so I'd have a better skill at telling them what to do, but I found that most people do their own makeup pretty damn good. So unless it's something like a project where it detracts to not have a certain kind of makeup, I usually have
Mm-hmm.
like actors and stuff do their own makeup. Even for headshots, like when I used to do a lot of headshots, at first I was like, oh, well, everybody's offering a makeup artist as part of the package. And what I found was people weren't, it always took forever because the makeup artist would do the makeup and then they'd be like, oh, I don't know if that's really what I want. They'd wash it off, do it again. It's like the makeup that you do yourself is more natural, you know? If anything, they need to
Also,
look
it's
at how you
really
normally.
funny. Yeah, because you always get told like, oh, you're supposed to look like your headshot, but then they tell you have to have a makeup artist because they know lighting or photography. And you go, your whole reason is for you to see what makeup I'm going to do when I walk in the door. So if I'm having a makeup artist, I can't recreate that the same way. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I agree with you
Yeah, the
100%
only time
on that.
that I think I'd do it is if they just felt like sometimes people don't want to deal with it because it's like too much work to do the makeup and they just like that, like somebody watching and fixing the hair. So what I normally do is if somebody wants a makeup artist is I have them send over a picture of themselves, like a selfie, with the makeup the way they normally do it, and I give that to the makeup artist and I say, "This is what you're doing, just with a little tweak or whatever," and that's it. Like, don't go over the top.
Actually, really smart. Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically some advice there for headshot people.
But also how like it took you a while to get to know how my face should be lit, right? So that's the
Yeah,
same thing with a makeup artist. So if you just meet that makeup artist on the day, they don't know how your face really works or the things that like really bring out the beauty in it. So yeah, I've had bad days when it comes to makeup artists.
yeah. Yeah, anybody with really strong features, you're going to find that if you get a makeup artist and you have a model that walks in with strong features, make sure you have a conversation with that makeup artist because they'll
Yeah.
just naturally do that. They almost all do that, you know.
Yep.
The other thing that I learned about makeup artists is they're oftentimes afraid to do makeup messy. And I like for a lot of my work, I like messy makeup. So like they just like I'll be like make it messy, and like they'll comment it won't be messy at all. I'll be like that's not messy. It's like
They'll be
make
like,
it
what are you
messy.
talking about?
Yeah, and I'll show them examples like this like 1920s smudgy, and they can't do it. It's like it's almost
No,
like
it's because
not.
what you're looking for is like the day after going clubbing makeup.
That's right, and that's how I explain it. So
Yeah.
I'm good at that. That's the makeup Daniel knows how to do. Super clean, and you've been out all night. Those are my two
Yes.
specialties
You're
because that's
hungover.
the stuff I
That's
like.
the
So I learned
makeup.
how to do it. Yeah, I like that you said that, not me. But that's what I meant.
That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for this live
Constant light's the
video.
future of lighting. No, I don't think so. And the reason why I will say that is this, and I love constant lights. I use dado lights. I've used dado lights for years. I love them. We actually used dado lights on that shot that that got us banned. Uh,
Oh,
the reason why they're going to replace flash, let's say, is because flash allows you to have a lot of power in a very small amount of time that you can control with minimal energy. Let's say, for instance, so I used at WPPI, I did a photo walk and I used a little light. It was amazing. 10,000 lumens. 10,000 lumens is damn bright. It is super bright. And we turn this thing on and everybody's like, it's so bright. The One Pro Photo A1 virtually erased that light. So like you're just not going to be able to like compete with the sun unless you have. That's why in movies when they light things, they have these giant light sources because they can't. Like flash is just so much more powerful. Now that being said, and this has always been the case for some things, I think constant light's better. Like if you have a totally blacked out studio and you can want to do product photography, I actually like constant lights for that better. Yeah, you just have to get used to it, you know. And I think with digital too, it's kind of like you shouldn't be intimidated. Just take some bad pictures. Okay, hold on.
you've
Constant
never
lights. I
taken a
just
bad picture,
me. Oh my god, yes.
except maybe a
But
couple blurry ones.
Yeah, blurry is a very common thing for me. Do you guys get free stuff from Adorama? No. They do give me a discount though, when they can. The thing is, there's so little markup on electronics that you guys think like you're like, oh, I'm buying this $5,000 camera. They're not making that much money on that camera. I mean, there's a very little markup on electronics.
Yeah.
That's why they're the same price everywhere. So no, I do not get free stuff. I mean, sometimes if they want me to do a special video on something, they'll loan me something, but they don't give me free stuff. I once had. Oh yes, I did do that. Oh, cool. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I did do that. Oh yeah, what was that? That was for I did little quick portfolio reviews for charity. That's the kind of stuff I do. I own the Kate Moss book too. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, she's such a thing. Like, anyways, I love Kate Moss. Kate, if you're out there.
She's so not the most beautiful model, but she's knows how to work camera. Man, does she know how to work camera?
Well, and her face just it's very malleable. Like, she's one of those people that looks really good in makeup, without makeup. In fact, in the book, there's like a thing where it's like there's like a newspaper article saying like this is supposed to be one of the most beautiful women. It's like a terrible picture of her. And it's just funny she put it in the book, so I think that's really funny.
And she doesn't even care.
Yeah, but LEDs, they're just not powerful enough. Yeah, that's why I'd say that. Oh geez, okay. Wow, I'm way behind. Sorry guys. Let me see if there's anything like. Well, I'm just gonna go to the bottom. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Oh, hold on. Oh, somebody said something. It was blocked but it's in Spanish, I think. So I can't. I don't know if it's offensive. So I'm just not gonna let it come through. Sorry, Spanish person. I don't want to say because it could be something that's not appropriate, and I don't speak Spanish, unfortunately. I should speak Spanish, but I do not, and
after all these years, have I taught you nothing?
Yeah, well, when I lived in Miami, I actually could understand
defend
a little
yourself.
Bit. When you
could probably ask for a Cuban coffee, knowing you, you probably had that down.
Well, and I also, so if you're a fashion photographer or you shoot fashion and you live in Miami, or you're shooting with Hispanic models, right? So you only need to know like a couple of words. So this is the thing, right? The most important word is ropa, right? And so in otra ropa, right? So that means like other clothes, right? Roughly, right? I mean, I know it's not perfect. So how you say it makes a big difference, right? So when somebody shows up and you want to know if they brought other clothes, you just go otra ropa, right? So that means, do you have any other clothes, right? And when you're done shooting and you want them to change, you go otra ropa, and then they change.
That's incredible. You just did that with 2 words.
That's not perfect. And then mira, right? That means look.
Mira.
Yeah. And bonita.
Oh, and that's a very important one.
Yeah, and then una más, so like one more. That's it. That's all photographers have to say. Because no matter how many more we're going to shoot, we always say one more. Right?
Yes. Actually, you've done that to me several times, and it's crazy.
Yeah, that's how I do it. Okay. Anything? Okay, so we should probably
last one. Oh, that was a lie. Last one. This was almost 2 hours, Daniel. You're welcome.
I know.
I took out from my busy quarantine schedule.
I know.
Of doing nothing to be here with you all.
I do appreciate it. Any last questions before we can get off soon? I'm totally holding up. I love Flash.
You're not at all.
We're having a good time.
This is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, okay, Daniel, can you do a makeup session? I'd love to see simple. Yeah, I could do a makeup session, maybe not on myself. Oh my God! So when I first was learning how to do makeup, I thought exactly that.
Can you really do makeup?
Yeah, I do. I do makeup.
Like, really?
Yeah, I'll have to show you some pictures that I've. Hold on, let me see if I can find a picture. Keep them entertained.
Guys, I'm today years young, finding out that Daniel can really do makeup.
Really?
He has not offered once. He has not offered once. 6 years of relationship. I don't even know
where to find a picture where I did makeup. It's been a little while now, since I've done any. So maybe I won't be good at it anymore. It's funny. I used to have a gigantic bag of makeup.
Yeah, like a makeup bag.
Like not a bag, but like a case. You know, like one of those makeup kits. Mm-hmm. And I had like all the different colors. I used to go into like all the like Sephora or whatever and buy all the different colors, and I had all the. And then I realized I'd never use any of them. Like I'd use like
none.
So I have like the most perfect kit, right? So I a kohl pencil from MAC, the MAC kohl pencil, not just any kohl pencil, the MAC kohl pencil. There's like a clear, it's actually a base that you're supposed to add color
You got
to
the essentials
for stuff, right? And I get the clear base, and I use that
Mm-hmm.
actually for lips, because almost always, first of all, if you're going to do lips, that's like very, I mean, obviously putting makeup on anybody, you got to make sanitary, blah, blah. But usually people have a color, like you said, like that lip looks good on you. So I usually almost always go with nothing on the lips because I'm more of an eye person, or I go with whatever they brought. And then I have like this like lip gloss that's clear that I put over it. And then I use this like really cheap CoverGirl blush, which is not very heavy, but it has tons of titanium dioxide in it. So it's super shiny. So it's like any light that hits it, it goes boom, and it shines. Not like Milk makeup where it's like over the top, which is a very subtle.
That's so interesting. You made makeup smart. That's nobody ever thinks of it like that.
Yeah, well, that's the difference, right? So I know how to do it for, well, I'm really looking for something that I did makeup that I could find really quick.
Someone
It's
asked,
also,
which I think is more your question, but I'll answer it. Sharinna, how do you make your girlfriend wife comfortable with shooting models and pretty girls? It seems like it's never okay. Daniel?
The thing is that this is like a relationship thing, right?
Yeah.
People have to just believe. I think that if how to say this doesn't sound like a jerk. If you're having a problem shooting models with your significant other, then I would look deeper than that. How's that for being like not
very good answer? I was going to say something. I was saying trust.
Yeah, I think if you're somebody truly trusts you, then they will be fine with you doing whatever. I mean, probably the most simple solution that I've heard people say, I don't know if it's good advice because I don't think I'd do this, but it might work, is have them come on a photo shoot or photograph them, would be another way, just so they see what a photo shoot is like. Then they can see what goes on and they'll see that it's not at all what they think. Because I think that sometimes, especially if you do stuff that's a little more sexy, then they have this idea. But generally speaking, in photo shoots, if you guys don't know this, the sexier the image in the end, usually the less sexy the actual shoot was.
Oh my God.
Like it's very funny like that, because that stuff is super awkward and hard to get. So it's like when I used to do a lot of like, we used to call them Maxim magazine
it's like
style
sex scenes
stuff.
for
It's
film.
like, oh, it's not sexy to do that stuff at all. So it's not.
It's not. Even for actors, it's not. But you do have to be with somebody that understands your line of work and understands that also it's a job. Like it's not just for the sake of finding or messing around. You're trying to get your money here. So, it's a job, and they have to try at least to understand that.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it, because I think that's it, right? I think when you're with somebody that trusts you and you trust them and you have that back and forth, it shouldn't be a problem. And if it is, it's generally because maybe that person doesn't feel like they're like, okay, so I'm with somebody and then I'm going to go photograph Sharinna, who's, arguably beautiful.
Depends on the day.
Maybe they feel like
Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Maybe she's more beautiful than me. That might be what they're thinking. Well, you have to let them know that she's not to you, because that's what's important. Yeah, that's just philosophy in general. But that generally happens when I see two ways. One is like somebody starts to date you after you're already doing it, and that I think is bizarre, because it's like, well, I was a photographer when I met you, so
so it's not like that's going to change.
Yeah, so that never should be a problem. If you're 10 years into a relationship and all of a sudden you start photographing pretty girls and your wife or girlfriend is like, why are you doing this suddenly? Then yeah, you should need to think, why are you doing it? Why not your dudes?
If you went from special effect makeup to pretty girls, why?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Or just nothing at all, and all of a sudden you're doing it. So, I would rethink maybe why you're doing it and make sure that you are actually doing it for what we'll call the right reason. I cannot find anything off the top of my head, Sharinna, to show you that's not like a raw file.
Well, you better post it on Instagram, or I'm going to start a campaign.
Yeah, I will. I'll do your makeup. I actually need to redo my makeup because it's kind of old now. Every year I throw it all away and start over because makeup only lasts so long. So
and people didn't know that.
Yeah. There are expiration dates on makeup. And that's why it gets super expensive.
Well, makeup. Hopefully we can give you all a tutorial of Daniel doing my makeup soon.
Oh yeah, I'll do your I do it very messy.
Can't wait.
Okay, so that's that. The Flash, blah blah. Sorry. My favorite model is actually someone who's known more acting, Salma Hayek. Yeah, she's also very beautiful. Would you consider Live review of headshots, fashion photos with Cess. We are going to try to do another live critique, I think, for Adorama, but then all this stuff happened, so we didn't. I'm not a big reviewer, or I don't know. Maybe is one answer to that. Okay, good. Backwards to be although. Yes, well, the thing is that I understand. So what I learned a long time ago is that, and I know that people, and I don't want to get like political as people would say it now, but people are like, oh, people are just too sensitive. The reality is that why would you hurt somebody's feelings if you don't have to? So sometimes if you don't think about what you're saying for a second, you'll say something that could be offensive to somebody, and you might say, well, they have to have thicker skin, but like you don't need to be offensive. So I usually try to, I mean, if you're being a total perv jerk, I will tell you I will tell somebody off, but generally speaking, if I'm not trying to be offensive, I will make sure that I try to say things in a way that's nice. How can we follow? Oh, yeah, I put it in the other video. Sorry. Oh, did you put it there? Oh, here we go. I got to show it because you put a link, so it didn't show it. Yeah, so Sherry Allen on Instagram, or SharinnaAllen.com is also your website. I'll put those in the
website, which is probably 90% Dan and Art photos. So you're basically going to Daniel's website if you go to my website. But my demo reel is there, which I'm a coppin'. So if y'all want to be entertained in this quarantine time, go look through my website.
Yeah, go check it out. She's really cool. And like I said, I wouldn't hang out with people that weren't cool. Nothing is more important to me as a photographer than my integrity. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, it is true. I mean, it's a game of relationships, so you definitely don't want to be, if you're getting into photography to pick up girls or pick up guys or pick up whoever, that's not probably a smart thing, if you want to actually do it professionally.
Same for actors. Amen to that.
Yeah, it's like, you just, it's like, yeah, I just don't go that route because that's somebody else, because that person is trying to take it serious. I mean, imagine if you're trying to do something seriously and then somebody else isn't, and that's kind of aggravating, so yeah. That's the main reason for that. I mean, whatever. Not to say that like people can't date if they're in an industry, but at the same time, it's like you shouldn't be going into it for that reason. Anyways, That's my thought there. Okay. Any other quick questions? Oh yeah. They don't know much in Scotland, being a film actress. There we go. We got to get that more acting. We should probably do more film stuff.
I know another scene as well. We will. That's going to be bucket list when we come out of this, I promise.
Yeah, because like I want to do, so we used to, for people that don't know this, we used to do like, I don't know, 2-3 times a year. I would do, one of the onsets would be how to shoot a scene. And we would just do that. And it was really fun. I mean, and that's, we talk about that, how we met.
Did one with Adam.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I've done a bunch of them. And then we stopped doing it when, I don't know why we stopped. We just did. Oh, I know why. Because Fernando and Dave started doing their own thing that was that. And then Dave left Adorama, they stopped doing it. So that kind of faded away. So I can bring it back.
Let's bring it back.
Because when people don't, we did the host thing. I think it was really funny. I mean, I was being funny, of course, but like most of the hosts on Adorama TV do their thing. They do like photography or they do whatever. But like when I first started doing it, I was the only person that was supposed with Adorama Pro. So like I've done audio, I've done video. Like not that I'm a master of this, but I've taught all that stuff. So like because the Keith Alexander was there and he was like, oh, I don't have the problem that you guys have that like everybody's done it already. And I'm like, no, Keith, actually I did.
You're like been there, done that.
It's like I've already done microphone things. I don't do it.
Actually, you put me to host once. I actually hosted that math problem. That's in one of the YouTube videos. So if you want to see me hosting and modeling at the same time, look it up.
That's right. What was that one on? Was that on time lapse or something? I think it was time lapse.
Yes, it was on Taps.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did a really cool math problem. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, because you were figuring out how to set the time lapse up.
I mean, fully had to get the math problem taught, but that's fine. It came out natural. It's very natural.
Yeah, don't watch the rest of the video. Just watch the math.
Yeah.
What's funny about that is that board that you draw on for that. It's like a lit up board, right? And I'm remember now that same board is the board that I used in the competition video with Mark Wallace where we photographed each other.
Oh yeah.
And did in the video with me where the very first video set was ever in. So that thing got a lot of use.
That thing has been around.
Yeah, it's so funny how things like that happen. Yeah, I would love to visit Scotland. Um,
That would be a cool
yeah,
shoot because it's beautiful. So
yeah, yeah. So yeah, Joe is awesome. Yes, of course. Yeah, Joe is yeah, Joe's just fantastic. So
yeah, he was wonderful.
I have nothing else to say about Joe McNally. He's very cool. Actually, if you guys didn't see it and you're not followers or whatever, go Seth. I would just say Seth, like people know who Seth is. I'm sure you do. Seth, his Twitch channel. I was actually on there with him and Joe, and I think during that period my camera died just like it did this time. So there you go. And it's really funny. It's very good. Joe's such a nice guy. So that's twitch.tv Last Ex Witness. Do all our other guys ever get a chance to hang out? Yeah, of course.
I said, yeah, all the time, except now during quarantine.
Yeah, except for now. I mean, the people that are in New York, yeah, all the time. So like, there's definitely people like some hosts on around that we can't hang out with, but everybody that's like part of the crew, the Get Fresh crew.
The crew.
We'll go for Thai food.
Ooh.
We need to go to
what?
Thai food.
The F have I never been invited to this? Honestly, you guys, we're gonna start a fight right now.
No. You went to Thai food that when we did the 200th episode. Wasn't that Thai food?
Yes, I did do Thai food. Yeah, I did.
There you go.
I did do it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
Thai got food me there.
Yeah, and I'm missing it now, and I don't know how to make any Thai food, so I'm gonna have to try to make some.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You still owe me soup. You heard it here, buddy. He still owes me soup.
Oh, I make you soup? I'll make you soup.
100%. You told me you were going to.
Yeah, I promise a lot of soup to people I know do it, and we definitely need like a soup trade-off. Like I'll make you some soup.
I'll make you some English broccoli and Stilton cheese soup.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Yep.
All right, we got this.
We got this.
You know who actually made soup? Because for me it was very sweet. Was Marissa, and it was.
Marissa's the best.
It was good soup. I was like, oh, okay, because you always say that. Like, I'll make that for you. She literally went and made soup, and I'm like,
she actually did it because she's a perfect 50s housewife. I can't even handle this.
You're supposed to just say you're going to do it. You would actually do it. Now I have to do it. Yeah, I have actually a good recipe.
Yeah, now it's full competition.
Chicken. Do you like Chipotle chicken?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So I have a pretty good Chipotle chicken recipe. I'll make it Chipotle chicken soup.
Well, then the next one's going to be a cooking live YouTube video, which will be fun.
We can finally all see each other. Okay, so do you use other forms of creativity influence your photography, Daniel? I see guitars in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually don't get that much inspiration from photo, as I've said before, which I think sounds very weird. Most of it comes from music, reading, some movies. Also, I like a good bad movie. Yeah. I like the cheese. I love the cheese.
Mood lifter.
Yeah, I like a good like it has to be. See, and it's funny. I guess maybe because of my age. Like I don't mind like crappy special effects from like the 70s and 80s. Like in the
those are great.
Movie. When I see them now, I hate them. I'm like, oh, but they're really the same level, I guess. It's just for some reason, I don't know, just because I grew up
back then it was amazing. So we got to see it as if we were back in that time.
Yeah, exactly. Like when I'm watching something like that, I remember being like a kid on like Saturday morning watching, a really bad like Godzilla movie, and like he's clearly in like a rubber suit. Like that's just amazing to me. Now I see these crazy, awesome special effects that just aren't that good, and I'm like, oh, this is terrible. I can't watch it. But yeah, that's it. It's all we grew up with. But yeah, I would say probably see, because for me, I'll give you maybe you can tell us how you get inspired, Sharinna, but I'll start. So what I usually do is, and I've mentioned this before in videos, but I'll mention it again. I get inspired a lot by music and good songwriting, and not so much the actual music part of it, but the lyrical part is super important to me, because whenever somebody says something that just draws a picture in my head, that's often where my lighting and stuff comes from. Like I think of that scene and I'm like, oh, what would that be like? What do I see that like? And because I'm creating it, right, then it's my own. Whereas if I watch a movie or I see how a photographer does it, I'm just looking at their light. Like this is me getting from my own personal, experience, what I've absorbed, right, and creating something. So I love songwriters that write in a very kind of poetic way. I guess all songs poetry, but you know, in a way that really describes stuff. So
yeah. Music inspires me a lot too. It helps like remember something or help with a feeling. You know, if I need to be in a certain emotional state, music is like the way to go. So 100% on that.
yeah, that makes sense actually, you know, because of course music definitely draws either what you remember or associate with a song, or even just the music itself being able to draw certain emotion.
Melodies, yeah.
I also find that like when I'm, and I know this is obviously it's like your brain just picking up on things, but like when you're going through something, like all of a sudden somehow there's just those right songs that come on the radio or whatever, and you're just like, well, how did they know that? But they were always on the radio. It's just that right now you're connecting to
In
it.
the moment, or you're probably like listening even more now because if it like links to something. So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, no, so that's probably where I get most of it. Do I bang on the guitar every day? No, not nearly as much as I should. I always hear you talk about chocolate gels, but Seth never finds them. Do I have a video where I use the chocolate gel? I don't know if I do. The thing with the chocolate gel is that it's very, very specific. I mean, I think Seth actually uses them sometimes on his background wall, but like I use them for certain skin tones. So if I'm not, so I wouldn't just randomly use it in the video. Because again, it's one of those things, like you could see me use a chocolate gel, but if I use it on Sharinna and then use it on somebody else, it's not gonna look the same. So
no way.
Yeah. So I don't know if I've ever had a video where I've used chocolate gel, but maybe I will for you. But I do love chocolate gels. It's one of my, I just like saying it too.
Chocolate gels.
Yeah. Actually, did I use the chocolate gel in the video? I'll see if I do. It's mostly good. Actually, it might be all right with you. I don't know. No, you're dark enough. Maybe if you get tan, it would be. They need to already have some warmth in their skin. Otherwise, they just look weird. Like you can't, like I would not look good with the chocolate gel. Gels are very specific. Like I need like a peach or something. You want something that complements your skin, you know? Like I want something that takes my red down, but keeps me in the same general area. If somebody has really warm skin, like let's say a lot of like kind of either darker Latinos or Latinas, right? Or African Americans or African or Black people, however you want to say it, they generally look better with chocolate gels, in my opinion. And also just somebody with a nice tan skin. If somebody gets a good tan, like Italian people, like Erica would probably look really good when she's tan with the chocolate gel. Okay. But that's why you want to have a lot of different gels. And actually, as an actor or whatever, it's good to know if you find a gel that works for you.
Of course.
Because then you can just know it. We should probably do that. We'll do a video. Actually, I did do one video where I show two, like the extremes. I put like a gel that doesn't work on somebody, and then I put one that does work so you can see the difference. That one is called, I don't know, you'll have to go back and look at it. Sorry.
In all the 200 episodes or more.
Yeah, it's like I did do that one time, but it wasn't a chocolate gel. Yes, that never finds them. They're hard to find, to be honest, though. How to find, tell today's audience how to find your prime song from yesterday. Oh, I think you just have to look at all the videos that are on there if you want to see me sing a song. I don't know if I'd recommend it, but if you want to, you know, I don't normally. So yeah, to answer that question, I usually, my guitar playing is much more something that I do to get my head around certain situations. So when I'm in a certain mood, I pick it up, but I don't do it like in a way to be religious about it. Like I might not touch it for 6 months and then play every day for like 2 weeks. Okay, people are bailing out. See, that's how you know we've gone long enough. Yeah, I did use it once in the event space. Red gel, green, can have a chocolate look. It can, yeah, depending on your. All of my topics are lit. That is actually true. If you put a red and a green together, depending on the red and the green, you can get the kind of this. Because basically, red and green are complementary. So if you put the exact red and green on top of each other, you'll actually get nothing. You'll get an ND filter, basically. But if you put like a green that doesn't quite remove all of the warmth in the red, then you'll get something that could be close to chocolate. Australia. Good day.
Australia.
That did the Australian thing. Good day. Terrible.
Oh, that's bad.
That didn't sound Australian at all. I do like Crocodile Dundee.
Oh, classic.
Yep, great. Also Quigley Down Under.
course.
which is Tom Selleck, you know, cowboy. Come on.
What else? What more could you want?
I mean, anything with Tom Selleck. I mean, you know, I grew up with Magnum PI when I was a little kid, so like that's, you know. Wow, he must be super old. I just realized that because I'm pretty
Isn't
old. You know,
he
you realize,
doing?
yeah. Okay.
He's doing. Isn't he doing Blue Bloods? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Blue Bloods. He's
Yeah,
still
and
working.
he only gets better looking. Like that guy is like,
That guy's
I don't.
stunning.
Yeah,
Stunning.
it's amazing. Yeah. Yeah, Tom Selleck. It's not that he doesn't age. Some people don't age, right? They still just always look young. He looks older. He just looks better. He looks amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's your neighbor. I don't recommend. Okay, cool. Indianapolis, just joining. Yeah, so it's good that we get people from all over. I think this is awesome. We're going to cut out, though, I think. I think we've done this long enough.
This
We'll be
was
back.
fun.
We'll do a group thing because we really are going to do a group.
Yeah.
We're going to do a D&D game.
Well, Daniel, thanks for inviting me.
Yes.
And getting me out of my quarantine hole.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to interview you now. So I've noticed because I'm in quarantine and I'm getting fat, right? So you're not, because I see. So what do you? How are you exercising? Because you used to go to a gym, right? So what are you doing for exercising?
So where I am now, there are some like free weights and like a squat bar. So I've been watching a lot of workout YouTube videos, which they're like 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, and they're amazing. You actually don't need a gym, and you don't need a lot of space. So I could do it in like a bedroom.
So like
And then, yeah. And also if you can walk outside where there's not a lot of people and it's more like the woods and stuff, just go for a hike, you know, like a hike, workout. But I'm actually working out more than I've ever worked out because I don't have time in New York. And I'm able to focus like literally on my body and my health, and it's awesome. Like for that, I'm very thankful for this time, and I feel very blessed that that's my biggest worry right now is to be able to work out every day and like get fit. But yeah, no, it's nice. It's nice to be able to do it.
It is, yeah. I just started walking because I was like, man, I can go out where there's nobody around and I can walk, because I realized just being inside, even though I work from home normally, so it's not like this is that different for me, but when you can't leave, it changes everything. It's like,
like that's why New York and my heart is out to our city, because people that are in apartments and like Prospect Park, for example, is very packed with people. It's hard because breathing fresh air is really important. So yeah, that's what I try to do. Like the time that I'm not in New York, I'm trying to go outside and just breathe in some fresh air.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Oh, you're getting a question now though. Have you been asked to do accents?
Yeah, I do really good accents more in Spanish. So I could do like Colombian, Mexican, Argentinian. But honestly, for Hispanic person, first language is, Spanish. I'm doing a pretty good standard American. So it is what it is.
Standard American. That's an accent.
Standard American. Yeah, I love doing accents. But yeah, if I was like in Narcos or something, doing like one of the Colombian women, oh man, I would kill it. I would love to do that. So yeah, I can do a lot of accents in Spanish.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I can't, but I'm not required to. Thankfully.
Thank God.
I do I just do my normal voice. Yes, Sharinna is lovely inside and out.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't already, I will put it in the description of this because it's not there now. I know because we went live again. The links for Sharinna, so you guys can follow her and stuff. And we'll do another one for sure. You know, if this thing's gonna go on, we'll get you back on again. It was super fun. Let me see if I can stop the live stream.
Thank you, everybody.
And